I'm going to be real. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. If you told me at the start of the playoffs that the only two teams that would be 2-0 after the game twos would be the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Los Angeles Lakers, I would look at you like you're fucking crazy, right? And you know what? And I'd also say this: if you also told me that Detroit was gonna lose on their home floor for the what? I can't even think about the amount of consecutive games it is, and they're still not gonna have a win. Dating all the way back to the Bush administration. I know you're saying to yourself, 2008 is the Obama administration. No. Presidents do not become presidents until like the year after, in the start of January. So that was the Bush administration. So you're telling me the Detroit Pistons will not have a single playoff win since the Bush administration. They won't have a single win, Vizquel, until you start. Since when you started school. Yes, Vizquel. That's how long ago it'll be. They won't break that streak. Jamal Mosley will get a win on the fucking road. I would look at you like you're fucking crazy, but playoff basketball is chaos and it is amazing. And anyone who tells you that it's not and it's not supposed to be this way is a liar. Parity is good. I wish there were some parity in some other portions of my life, but I mean, you can't win everything, right? I'll take it for now. This has been one of the weirdest experiences I've ever been a part of, and I'm blessed to be here. I love it. Let's talk about playoff basketball. So, let me do my humiliation ritual where I show you my notes and I tell you I don't have any notes from the last game. All right, wrong. Notes from the Sixers game and I'm just gonna call it the Sixers game, really. Notes from the corresponding Spurs and Trailblazers game, and notes from the Rockets game. Now, I will not lie to you, at the tail end of the Rockets game, I had given up on all hope of this team coming back. But that's for good reason. That's for great reason. We're going to open the stat sheet today. And I know you're saying to yourself, why is Vizquel opening the stat sheet? I thought you said you could make most good arguments about basketball without even looking at the stat sheet, as long as you watched the game. Well, some people didn't watch the game. And two, more importantly, I actually did watch the game. And I'm thoroughly perplexed as to why I ever thought the Rockets could win this series. I'm confused. I didn't think it could be this bad. I knew Ime Udoka was going to get fired at the end of the postseason. I didn't know it was going to be this soon, all right? So there's that. And I know you're saying to yourself, Ime has yet to be fired. It didn't happen yet. It is a matter of time, though, so let me tell you what we have on today's docket for games that I'm going to have to watch. We'll have 2 games today. Thank God, and they're both on ESPN. Thank God. Now, what games are they? The Magic's second game and the Suns' second game. Why didn't I acknowledge the Pistons and Thunder when I was talking about these two, even though they're both the... Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Don't piss me off. I just started the video. God damn. All right, let's talk about Tuesday's games, because today is Wednesday. Wednesday, my brother. All right, so, things that were not on my checklist. The Celtics scoring under 100 points and the Sixers winning. Wasn't on the list. Trailblazers winning a game in this series. Not on the list. And I didn't think they would win a game in San Antonio, of all places. I said, maybe if the role players play really good at home, they'll be able to do something. And I said, yeah, the Portland's last game was pretty close. It was pretty close. I don't think they'll win the next time they play against each other. All right. Oh. All right. So I know you're thinking to yourself, well, if Boston lost, there had to be like some injury or something. Well, Boston was getting every single shot they wanted at the paint, like in the previous game, because the bigs were in foul trouble. So if the bigs were in foul trouble, then that means they weren't getting points in the paint. Wrong. They were getting points in the paint. So you're saying to yourself, how the fuck did Boston lose? They stopped hitting their threes. How did fucking Philly win? They started hitting their threes. Now, I don't need to tell anyone this because we all have eyes, right? This is an anomaly game as far as shooting, right? I don't think that, let me just I'll just read you the percentages, and I'll tell you the player's name, and you tell me if this is gonna maintain. Kelly Oubre, 33%. That's probably that might happen. Yeah, but 50% from the field? I don't know. Paul George, 53.8% from the field. Good. 40% from three. I don't know about that. I'm not even gonna talk about Bona. Bona missed all of his shots, and he didn't hit any shots from three because he didn't take any from three. VJ Edgecombe, 60% from three. 60% from the field. Tyrese Maxey, 38% from the field, but 41 from three. Oh, that's 39. I'm sorry, Tyrese Maxey. You made such a difference. Andre Drummond, 100%. From everywhere. He hit a three, and he hit 4 shots. Anyway. Quentin Grimes, 33 from the field, 66% from the three-point line. That means, and for those who are wondering, he hit only threes. Everything inside the arc did not fall. Justin Edwards, half of his threes, 40% of his shots. Really quickly, I don't think I illustrated how fucking crazy of a game this was. So Tyrese Maxey had 29 points last night, and did I know he was shooting this poorly? No. Did it matter? No. Not at all. Why do you ask? So he had 9 assists and 1 turnover. So even though his shot wasn't falling because they were guarding him fairly well, and some of the shots weren't all great, they weren't all great shots, I won't lie, he was still finding a way to be effective. VJ Edgecombe, the rookie, another rookie who is not in Rookie of the Year conversations because it was pretty much just Kahn and Cooper, even though this rookie's draft class was fucking insane. I just want to point that out. We're going to talk about another rookie in the playoffs right now because the other two ones that didn't make the playoffs are the ones that are in the Rookie of the Year race. What a time to be alive, I guess. VJ had 30 last night. Yes, VJ, the nigga VJ, he had 30 last night. Not me, not Vizquel Jordan. VJ Edgecombe had 30 points last night. I don't know how I would have had 30 last night. I don't know who. He had 30 points on 60% shooting from the field and three. Do I think this is sustainable? Fuck no. Fuck no, this ain't sustainable. Am I happy? Yeah. What a game, bro. Like, what is going on? And this was the first of 2 games. Mind you, when this game was overlapping again with another game, and that's why I don't really like the idea of having this many games on a non-weekend. But, big but, it was certainly something to watch. Now, Paul George started the game off very hot. He was pretty much in his bag and never left the kitchen. Now, he stopped taking as many shots when VJ Edgecombe and Jaylen Brown started their duel. And I know you're saying to yourself, VJ Edgecombe and Jaylen Brown duel, what the fuck? So VJ and Jaylen Brown were hitting threes, and I was just thinking to myself, damn, they're going back and forth. It's a close game. It's a crazy close game. At the beginning of the game, I'm thinking to myself, how can Philly really lose? How can Philly really win this game? How can the Sixers win this game? How can Celtics really lose? What I'm thinking at this point in time, because they had opened up a very big run, and I'm like, okay, well, it's Paul George started off hot, VJ was hitting a little bit of shots. It's whatever, right? It's not really going anywhere. Tatum and Maxey had traded some mid-range shots, and then suddenly the Celtics had found themselves up 10. And then the Sixers went on a 10-0 run. And I was thinking to myself, in this 10-0 run, well, yeah, but if the Celtics just continue shooting their threes and making them, there's no way in hell that the Sixers can win this game. And then that didn't happen. It didn't happen, actually. Drummond hit a three, and my dad and me were watching the game, and I had to remind him that it's not 2015 anymore, or 16, or 17, or 18, or even 2020 when Andre Drummond had a briefest of stints with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I had to remind my father that it is 2026, and apparently he fucking hits those now. And not only does he hit those, he gets them wide open and still hits them. I don't know. Like, the plays are schematically drawn up to have Andre Drummond wide open in the corner because they know that he is the least threatening person, and him hit those threes. I'm sorry. By the way, Paul George had gotten, and the only reason Paul George didn't continue his hot streak is because he got into foul trouble, to be quite honest. Paul George got his third foul a little bit into the second quarter on the D Wade Kobe pump fake. Now I know you're thinking to yourself, who did the pump fake? It was Tatum. It was Tatum. Tatum loves Kobe so much that he's still copying his move. It's an effective move. I can't lie. Pump fake. And Paul George, also being a Kobe fan, fell for it. Also played against D Wade in his prime too. And I know people are gonna say he didn't play against him in his prime. He played against him in 2011. He also played against him in 2012 when he was slightly out of it. And then he played against him in 2013 before 2014 and the wheels fell off. He knows the move. Paul George fell for the pump fake, and guess what Tatum did? Jumped right into him, because that's how you're supposed to do it. And not excessively, whereas though they're gonna not call it like what happened, I guess, what apparently happened in Denver. Don't know why I'm yawning. I'm super awake right now. I am as animated as I'll ever be. That got him to his third foul. It was like a little bit into the second half. I was like, well, second quarter. I don't know how much more we'll see with Paul George. So this might affect the game a lot, right? VJ and Brown's duel continued. VJ hit a shot. Brown hit a shot. Sixers foul. Right, and the first half is 62-54, and I know you're saying to yourself, what? Now Brown ends the quarter with a shot, and Barlow takes a shot to the face, unfortunately. I don't really know why that was happening and how bad it was, but he was on the ground in pain, walked off the court with a towel in his face. I don't think I seen Barlow after that moment. Let's see how many minutes Barlow played. 6.4. Yeah, we did not see Barlow after that moment. That was... Barlow didn't even take a shot. Wow. Besides the one to his face, of course. So, I'm thinking to myself, well, the Sixers are only up I don't know, 69-56. I think the Boston Celtics have a run into them. They're starting to heat up. The effort's going in. It's starting to be rewarded. The Celtics have cut the lead from that to 74-68. The lead is closing. I'm thinking, okay, cool. They get it down to 3. It's a 3-point lead. There's 3.7 left in the third. I'm thinking, well, VJ at this point has 23 points and 8 rebounds. Brown has 25 points. Brown and him are going back and forth with threes. It's gonna close up. The Celtics are gonna get good shots. They're gonna make the good shots, and then they're gonna win the game. It's just what Boston does. They're gonna execute on defense, and there won't have to be a win on the road in Philly when Embiid comes back, because that would be really weird if the Sixers were in a 1-1 series at this point in time. I'm thinking it's Coolio. It was not Coolio. Ooh, so after Brown hit a 3, the lead is 82-77. And I know you're saying to yourself, that's not very coherent. Did you miss something in the game? Yeah, I missed some things. I was watching the experience that is Victor Wembanyama. For all that I had it. Tatum hit a 3. It was 91-87. They're clawing their way back into this. Brown had a step back after a missed shot. A Tyrese Maxey 3 had made the lead 94-89. Another Tyrese Maxey 3. Timeout Boston, 97-89. Do you see how quickly the game can fucking change? I don't know, dog. It was weird. Tatum had a really bad turnover, and after that turnover, Maxey missed the layup, but Drummond put it right back in. Kelly Oubre hit a fucking crazy 3. The Sixers had taken a commanding lead, and I was thinking to myself, it's a 13-point lead. There's 4.2 minutes to go. VJ is still on fire. He hit another 3. The score is 105-92. At this point, me and Boston had conceded that they were not going to win the game. They pulled the starters out, and this is another thing that I do not really understand, and I know people are going to say, you want your guys going into rhythm and having continuity to come into the next game. I want my guys to be as least likely to have an injury or something fucked up happening. I'm pulling my guys. I don't care about them being in a flow state, bro. Because that shit does not carry over from game to game, bro. It might, but like that's really more of that because they practice the shots and stuff. It's not really because of them just literally being in the flow state and they never left it. Because, bro, they go to bed. That shit resets. I had to break it to you, bro. It'd be reset time. Let's see. The series was tied up 1-1. VJ Edgecombe went fucking stupid last night. He had 30 and 10. Tyrese Maxey had 20 and 9. And PG had 19 with 2 stocks. That's a steal and a block for those who are wondering how the stocks actually broke down. Let's talk about Trailblazers Spurs. I did not take a lot of notes in my first game, so excuse me. Took a lot this game. So the Blazers actually jump out in this game to a 13-4 run. And let me pull the statistics up for that game just in case I have to pull and look at anything. By the way, I didn't really mention what Tatum did last night for a fucking good reason. Tatum did not wow me last night. Tatum had 20 maybe. Well, let me see. Tatum, nope, he finished the game at 19. That's exactly what I thought it was. Well, that was disappointing. His shooting struggles from 3 continue, which is the problem. Well, actually, no, Bron and him seem to be having games at this point where one of them shooting good and one of them is not shooting good from 3 at least. They can get to the basket well, of course, but like it's not the same. By the way, Tatum had 14 rebounds. I don't know how people feel about the rebounding stat, but Tatum is a really good rebounder for his position. I sure would hope so. It's 6 to 10. This win was promised to him 3,000 years ago, but apparently a good game was not. 38% from the field and only taking 13 shots. And I'm going to say this now. I'm going to spoiler alert. Wemby has a concussion. Wemby gets concussed in the second half. Most of these shots from Deni Avdija are not against Wemby. They're against like Cornette. They're with Castle in front of him and Dylan Harper guarding him. By the way, Dylan Harper was that other rookie I was talking about. What the fuck? Who's someone who's like, wow, he's really good, and he should probably be in rookie, and he'd probably be like leading rookie of the year race in any other year, but not even in the conversation this year. Dog, Cooper and Kahn. But I can't even say that I'm surprised that those two are the leaders of the thing, but I'm just like, wow. By the way, if I haven't mentioned it, yeah, no, I did today. We're good. Klingon was doing fucking a lot at the beginning of the game. He was clearly getting to a point where like this was something. Scoot went fucking nuke. I don't know how I can like properly display this without just reading the stats. He went crazy. He had a steal, 2 blocks. He had 31 points, and this wasn't 31 points on I'm shot chucking. This is 31 points on 17 shots. 17 shots and only 6 free throws. That motherfucker was hooping last night. 50. He was shooting 50. 55 from 3. God damn. 64 from the field. God damn. And he was one of the only motherfuckers in the starting lineup with a positive plus minus. Kamara too, but Kamara had hit some really big threes at the tail end of the game, so that helps, I guess. But yeah, Scoot was going out of his fucking mind. By the way, Drew was quite effective last night. Obviously, Drew has the play where he pulls the chair from Wemby, and Wemby obviously gets concussed in that moment. That is a normal basketball play. I do not want anyone throwing hate to Drew Holiday of all people. If there's someone on the Portland Trailblazers you need to hate, you know who I'm picking. I'm picking these free throws were promised to me 3,000 years ago. IDF man. Absolutely. And with him having a shit game last night, absolutely. He almost fouled out last night. 4 turnovers. Absolutely. I know exactly who you should shit on. This guy. He shot 50% from 3. He took 1 3 outside of the one that he made. Shut up. Okay, so Donovan Clingan was being really effective as a rim protector last night, and I know people are going to say, but Robert Williams was the one that really got it done at the tail end of the game. Shut up! Dude, you act like 2 legends cannot coexist. 2 legends, and the legends being Time Lord and Donovan Clingan. Yeah, alright. Let's read the moments. Alright, so the Spurs had come all the way back from that very great start, and this is because Everybody outside of Scoot could not fucking shoot to save their lives. And I know everyone's saying to themselves, he's the Portland Trailblazers, of course they couldn't shoot. But did you expect them to shoot that poorly? No. No one expected them to shoot that poorly. So, while the shots were clinking, the Spurs had made a little bit of run of their own. Come back. IDF, man, was looking pretty bad. I noted that in my thing. And I'm very happy. Sharp was doing pretty well off the bench. You know, we're doing good. You know, Sharp had heating up to 7 points. And by the way, what did Sharp finish the game with? Because I don't think anyone took note of that shit. 9 points. I don't know what the fuck Shaden did to Tiago Splitter, but not in the rotation. I really thought for a long time, and I guess it's because I haven't watched as many Portland Trailblazers games as I should have, that the way that they ran this team was Denny and Shaden starting, and Kamara and Klingon for the defense, and Drew Holiday was there as well. And now you're thinking to yourself, oh, what? By the way, Matisse Thybulle, no shots last night, negative plus minus, impactful moments. Plus minus isn't everything. That being said, the fact that he has a negative 22 in 10 minutes, yeah, no. The moments were not enough. Far and few in between, dog. Fox, by the way, when Fox had to take over this game and be the guy, I don't want to shade him, and I don't want to disrespect him, because all three of the guards, Devin Vassell too, I don't know why he's listed as forward. He's listed as forward normally when they start and whatnot, but like, no, Devin Vassell too. All of these guys were doing as best they could to keep these guys afloat. And by the way, Dylan Harper's 10 points, the 10 points that Dylan Harper had last night were very fucking impactful. He was dictating a lot of shit. By the way, he got called for a double dribble that I thought was just like fucking horseshit. And then I watched the fucking replay and I was like, it was horseshit. He tried to do the move where you keep the defender on your back at the Chris Paul, and I thought he was easily going to go up, jump a little bit backwards, and get the free throws called, because that's how that call works. They called a double dribble before he could even get that shit off. That is insane. 6th man of the year, Keldon Johnson, foul trouble. I'm sorry, like, everyone was in foul trouble. I'm surprised Champagnie did not foul out. Champagnie had gotten called for some dumb-ass fouls. And I know you're saying to yourself, dumb fouls? How could you say that? These were stupid. Some of them were bad, like, as in, what the fuck is Julian Champagnie doing? And then some of them were like, dog, give the guy a break. What the fuck did he do now? Wow. Dude, oh, right, okay. By the way, I just can't I just really can't display how crazy it was. Vassell went for a coast to coast that had to be cleaned up by Castle. Castle was doing great. Obviously, they could not make up for what Wemby gives them. Oh, by the way, I don't know what Reggie Miller's fascination with calling Scoot his first name was, but Sterling Henderson. What the? I thought Scoot was a bad nickname. Sterling Henderson? Oh, ew. Bro's wearing the 00, and I can't tell if this 00 because he got the 00 in his name, like Scoot, or is he just paying homage to Carmelo Anthony in his short stint in the Portland Trailblazers? Why do I remember that? I don't know, bro. No. Dylan had caught Scoot in the cookie jar. Dylan was doing a lot of moves last night that just showed like the polish of his game and like where he is as an NBA player. I'm serious when I say this. He kind of does all of the things that Chris Paul was doing for this team last year, but he's a much more active scorer than Chris Paul was. And I know you're saying to yourself, Chris Paul last year? That was last year? Yes. Yes, that was last year. You probably don't remember it because we all thought this would be the year that Chris Paul retired. Nope. They sent him. He went to the Clippers and they fucked him. I'm glad he posted that checking off on my ops to see if they're really dead funeral ad thing, bro. That was good. Tiago Splitter, I got a tag. The coaches were all hot in this game. There were some bad no calls that everyone and their mama, including the commentator, saw, and the refs didn't. I guess that whistle, but don't worry, bro. The whistle was still still given to them sometimes, so don't worry. They more than made up for it. Fox had. It's the things though I want to point out is when Wemby was out, because the Spurs have played a lot of games without Wemby. They did not look lost. They did not look confused. They were not worried. And I'm not gonna lie, those Camara threes that we saw are an outlier in my opinion. I think the Scoot Henderson performance is already an outlier, but I don't want to be too critical on that. I don't think anyone who's watched basketball and knows Scoot Henderson's game is expecting Scoot Henderson to start in Portland and just go ballistic. I don't think anyone's thinking that. I think that we're not thinking that for a good reason. No offense to him whatsoever, but I do not think that that these guys would have been getting those shots off like that. And by the way, Denny's inability, and I know it's Denny's first playoff, so I want to give him a little bit of grace, even though I fucking hate that guy. It's his first playoff. It's Scoot's first playoff. It's everybody's first playoff on the Trailblazers, basically. Except with the solo exception of like Time Lord, Matisse Thybulle, basically the defensive guys that you know for these guys, like Drew Holiday and whatnot. Drew Holiday's a good veteran to have on the team, but pretty much everyone else's first playoff run. Sorry, it's not Jeremy Grant's first playoff run. What the fuck, Jeremy? Yeah, no. But the Spurs looked much more polished than people are willing to admit, because they played a lot of games without Wemby. This core has been together. They know each other well. They're playing well, and the players that they've slotted in that have to. Oh, by the way, Harrison Barnes had an injury, which was. They could not come at a worse time. Harper and Donovan Clingan also had jammed their fingers or something at that point in the time, and I was like, oh, this is fucking ugly. This is gonna get nasty. People, do you want to talk about how Denny basically saved the game? How Denny did what? What? When I beg your pardon. Denny did no such thing. No. Time Lord saved the game, because Denny was about to miss the shot. I think Denny thought he was gonna get a foul call there. I don't think that was a pass. People, you can say it's my headcanon, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't a pass. I'm pretty sure that Denny threw it up to the basket, hoping to draw contact and get some free throws, because that's his game, and he didn't get them. Because he played basketball. It was the Spurs had hit some. The run that the Portland Trailblazers had went on was otherworldly. Scoot had hit a three to publish and put him and give him 30. To publish this run, Kamara had 2 back-to-back threes, and they were just gifted a re-jump. I remember this. They got tied up. Kamara and who I think it was Fox got tied up, and they had to re-jump the ball. That ball should have been given to fucking San Antonio. I don't care how bad the first toss was. In a playoff situation, if the toss is that bad and Kamara catches the ball and lands with it, that is Spurs basketball. That was bullshit. Kamara hit a huge three. And another huge three. They were back-to-back big important threes. Spurs needed a three, was coming down to the wire. The way that the defense, they executed defense. The playoffs, fuck. Let's try this one more time. The defense that Drew Holiday and the rest of the Portland Trailblazers were playing, that shit was damn near perfect. And I know you're saying to yourself, it was damn near perfect. All they had to do was foul him immediately when he came in. Yes. Vassell not being able to get that first shot off really put the fucking nail in the coffin. What's the free throw line? The person who they fouled, I think it was Kamara too, hit both free throws. Very close to Kamara. And I know you're saying to yourself, oh, that's cool, but like, do you think they'll win game 3? Can I finish talking about game 2? God damn, why are you rushing me? No, I don't think they'll win game 3. Wemby will be healthy. What the fuck is wrong with you? Unless Wemby has CTE and suddenly starts playing like a fucking idiot and doesn't know how to play and is concussed out of his fucking mind and never recovers from this, I think they're probably gonna win. Okay? Alright, cool. By the way, that's San Antonio. That is Portland's first win in San Antonio in the playoffs. Can you believe it? That was I don't know how many times this team has matched up against Portland in the playoffs. I think that's very... I didn't even know they've played against each other. I thought this was their first fucking time. I don't remember this shit. As when I started becoming a fan of basketball, Tim Duncan was already old as fuck, and I do not remember Kawhi playing against him. So I'm thinking in my head, they've played against each other before. Maybe like the Portland Trailblazers did, and that was like in the early 2000s, I guess. But like as far as I remember, no one talks about Spurs fucking Blazers because the Spurs have 5 championships and they don't even have fucking conference finals appearance. No, sorry, correction. They have 1 conference finals appearance. When Tim Duncan retired, Kawhi was no longer a Spur, and Golden State was there. That year, people, Kawhi was he was just traded to Toronto. That's not fair. Shut up. It's okay to be stupid. You're stupid. I like you. Keep watching the video, good boy. Anyway. For those who are like, who, me? Bro, if you have to say who, me, it's you, dog. Alright. KD was finally cleared to play, and you might be wondering to yourself, if KD's cleared to play, then there's no way in hell the Lakers can win this series. I would have thought so too. But, 2 things. I wasn't expecting LeBron to go off for 28, 8 and 7, and I know you're saying to yourself, what the fuck? LeBron went for 28, 8 and 7? Yeah. LeBron shot 14 free throws last night, and I know you're saying to yourself, 14 free throws? How the fuck did LeBron get 14 free throws? He just drove to the basket relentlessly. Didn't you say he's 41? Yeah. Yeah. But that's not enough to win a game, right? Correct. Marcus Smart had 25 points, and Luke Kennard had 23 points. What? Isn't that what you would expect, like, the combination of Luka and Austin Reeves and LeBron to have? Yes. Why, yes, I would expect that. How did they get it from these guys? The Lakers, despite having way less paint points than the Rockets, by the way, and that was with Sengun completely clanking. Let me just do an unshadow, whatever the opposite of a shadow is. Let me just fucking talk about Sengun. Sengun had 20 points last night. He shot 9 of 20 from the fucking field. That's 45%. He took a 3. Don't know why the fuck he did that. He did not go to the free throw line a lot. Don't know why he did that. His 11 rebounds, measly. The fact he only had 1 turnover is shocking. It's shocking. It's probably because KD does still, at this point in his career, does not know how to play into a fucking double team. Now, I know that was acceptable in the early 2000s. It's not the early 2000s, bro. It's been 20 years since you were drafted. It's been 20 years. Why do you not know how to play into a double team, big dog? He had 9 turnovers last night. And KD, outside of the 9 turnovers last night, was pretty good. It was pretty good. He started the game off really hot. And when he lost that momentum, it showed. Free throws were good. He was shooting from, initially when he was shooting from the field, it was pretty good. KD, I'm not going to lie to you, dog. You were outperformed by Jabari Smith Jr. last night. The nigga you were calling a retard, they made you look slow. They made you look like a short bus rider. And the reason they made you look like a short bus rider is because you still don't know how to deal with a double team. It's 20 years, nigga. It's been 20 years. 20 years and you don't know how to deal with a double team? And look, your teammates, I'm not gonna lie. Everything you said about your teammates to those niggas on Twitter you was talking to behind their backs was correct. Jabari Smith, L shot selection. This nigga's a retard. Alfred Sengun, yeah, your turnovers aren't that big of a deal because Sengun is a fucking idiot. Sengun is a loser. He's fat, he's slow, and he's a defensive liability. He can't shoot threes. Everything about this nigga is a flaw.
Sorry, I ran out of storage
very
in
little
video.
strength.
But regardless, I was talking about how Sengun is a liability. The problems that we have with him, Oh, it's like everything. Literally, almost everything is wrong with him. Like his play style, everything. He takes really tough shots that he's not good at. He takes floaters that he's not good at. His shots are just not. They don't. When they don't fall, and he takes a lot of difficult shots. When they don't fall, that is a problem. The Lakers, by contrary, being coached by someone who actually knows how to run a fucking offense in JJ Redick, and I know people are gonna say, it's not Ime Udoka's fault that his team's offense is awful and that his players suck. Now look, I would like to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I also have seen what he's done with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and I've also seen what Joe Mazzulla's done with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They both look. Jaylen Brown and Tatum have gotten more experience and they've been better, but I also think that also has a lot to do with the coaching. So, I mean, plus what? The limited sample size that they were coached by Ime Udoka versus what I've seen from them under Joe Mazzulla, dog, I'm taking what they did under Mazzulla. And that doesn't even have to just be winning the championship. The way they've responded in certain moments, it's looked better. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, Amin Thomas, just 60%. He was taking very easy shots. Obviously, that's what he's supposed to do. Like, I mean, duh, take easy shots. That's what's good in basketball. But like, them not having anyone on their team that can make difficult shots outside of Kevin Durant is why they're losing. Them not having the reason that they don't have the ability to get good, open, clean shots is because of their inability to move the defense. Not moving from fucking Jabari from a Jabari Smith motion. I don't care. Josh Okogie's gonna be on the floor. You're gonna lose the moments. It's tough. You need the offensive production that they were getting from him was good. Unfortunately, Rui Hachimura came to play. He hit all of it. He hit a lot of those shots, and they were very good shots. They were wide open even. Braun got to the line a lot. Even though I said I was shitting on Sengun for shooting 45%, Braun only shot 40%. You know what Braun did that Sengun, a big, did not do? He got to the free throw line. That helps. Being a reliable free throw shooter is one of the most important skills in the game, and the fact that people make fun of other good players for having that skill in their bag, shut the fuck up. Shut up. And Luke Kennard, someone who couldn't get to the free throw line. If you can't get to the free throw line, you need to have a reliable jump shot, and it needs to be from three. It needs to be from three, because if it's not going to be from three, you're going to have to go to the basket a lot. Okay, we understand? Good. Very simple concept. By the way, Jake LaRavia, they had it. Oh, Jake LaRavia was out there just fouling, bro. And the fact that he's a positive plus minus just tells you that the fouls didn't really bother KD, but they slowed down the offense to like a grinding halt. Ayton was productive in the time that he was out there, even though he didn't hit all of his shots, but he was fine. Smart. Do I need to say what Smart and Kennard did? 8 from 13 from the field for both of them. Smart took and made more threes than Luke Kennard last night, which, look, I talked about the outlier performances in San Antonio in the San Antonio game. This is insane. Smart was everywhere. I was gonna say he had like a Josh Hart impact, like how he started that game off. No. Hart has never in his fucking life shot like this from three, so that's never happened. Never, no, that never happened. This was insane. Smart was also getting to the free throw line as much as he shoots. That's a pretty good rate, like similar rate to what LeBron did. All three of these guys made 8 shots. Brown took a lot, but still, it got to the line. That helps. The turnovers didn't really kill these guys. He had some assists, some rebounding, and stealing. Pretty much LeBron. Very, very classy LeBron James. I mean, that looked like early 2000s LeBron James. It was, I don't know what to say. It was weird. It's very weird. Luke Kennard continued his hot streak from last game. That's in my notes. It's literally right here. Yeah, Vando was out there and like he didn't kill the offense. That's the good news. Hayes was productive. Look, everything that you saw from the Lakers last night is what we saw from them in Game 1, except LeBron cranked it up again, and Smart cranked it up, and then Kennard took a little bit of a step back. All right, I guess Ayton didn't have as good a game, but still, everyone was everyone that they were supposed to be. And as far as the Rockets, dude, what if the offense is gonna look this bad? Oh my! I had them in the thoroughly not a contender team thing, but like a playoff team thing, and I don't know if anyone would have killed me for it because I didn't see it. Anyone, no one commented on the videos. By the way, if you like the videos, comment on the videos. But they have shown to me that I was correct. All right, and Reed Shepherd was unplayable. The shot, by the way, his shot selection is also boo boo. Nigga, KD and him are on a fast break. This nigga pulled up from. Do you think you're Curry? Do you think you're Curry? Do you think you're another nigga in this league that should be taking transition threes? Do you think you're Dylan Brooks on the Phoenix Suns where they need him to take shots like this? They don't need you to take shots like this. Give KD the fucking ball at the layup, at the rim. Dribble down, throw a lob. Don't have to throw it too high. It's KD. He'll catch it. It'll go in. It's a good shot. Why are you doing that? What was any of that about? Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. This is the most loud video I've done for a while. I haven't been able to get this loud in a while. But yeah, I don't even know what the thumbnail is going to be. I have no words. A lot of the basketball last night was just chaos ball. I don't know what the thumbnail is going to be. Have fun. Everyone have a good day. Goodbye.